What's up YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul, and in today's video we are going to look at Logic's ES2 synth one more time, and we're actually going to create that big sounding synth EDM sound that we all come to know and love, the sounds that really go nice with chords that are played out together. Now, what I'm going to show you right here is that basic sound, and you can kind of take this and kind of adapt it to more of a sound that's in your head. And I am kind of going to breeze through each of the settings in the ES2 synth. I'm not going to explain each movement I'm doing, but I'm just going to show you the things that you may want to push in order to get kind of that sound you're looking for. So with that said, let's get straight to the tutorial. Here I got my chord progression right here, recorded nicely. But of course we don't hear anything yet because the ES2 has not been placed on a track yet. So I'm going to bring in Logic's ES2 synth right here. And there it is right there. First thing I'm going to do is initialize this synth. I'm going to go to tutorial settings and analog saw initialize. It basically initializes most of everything here. I'm just going to go ahead and turn all these off as well. All right, so now we got a saw wave right here. We're going to leave that as is. What we're going to do right here is we want to create some dimension and depth to our sound. So for our first synth, or rather oscillator, we're going to go ahead and pull this up to 12 cents up here. Kind of pushes it up an octave over there. And then we're going to bring in our second oscillator, and it's also going to be a saw wave at its standard octave. And we're just going to bring this down to mix the two together. All right, so now that we got that set, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to here and change this to unison. We're going to add in some unison. And we're just going to add a couple more voices here. So as you can see, we're already getting that sound that we all come to know and love, but we're actually going to take this and take it now a few steps further. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some drive in our sound. Next thing we're going to do is add in some resonance over here. We don't want too much of that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some distortion by changing this knob right here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the tone a little bit, and of course you can go from dark to bright. Right now we are at the brightest. Alright, so there it is right there. Next we're going to go to our effects section right here, and we are going to add in some chorus. Maybe very little bit. Let's see how it sounds together. Alright, so that's okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in some fatness right here, which will bring in some of our mids. now we hear some of that noise in the background. We're just going to make it a little smoother by clicking the 24 right here. So it's a cleaner sound when you hit that little button right here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some analog right here. What this does, it detunes the oscillators to give it that analog flavor that you'd actually get on an analog synth. So it detunes those oscillators ever so slightly to get that analog feel. So I think we got a nice starting point over there. Next, we're going to go down to our envelope 3 right here, and we're actually going to make it more of a stabbier chord hit. And we're going to adjust our decay and sustain right here. Alright, so there we got that right there. I think we got that stabbing the way I would like it. Next, we could also bring in a third oscillator. And usually what I like to do is either bring in some noise, or sometimes I like to bring in actual sine wave and bring it down an octave here to -12. Maybe the noise sounds a little bit better on this one. And as you can see, if you use the cutoff right here, we can create that build-up that you hear in EDM songs. Alright, so it sounds pretty good as we have it, but let's go ahead and take that a few notches further and go ahead and add in some effects. So the first one, I'm just going to bring in my EQ, and a little tip that I'm going to give you guys right now, I always like to cut off all my lows on tracks that don't need any low end information. Kicks and bass kind of take up a lot of this low end right here, and really to clean that up, to really have that bass and kick punch out of your mix, you're going to want to take out all the lows on all your other tracks. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in some delay. Now you might want to bust this out to another track, but I'm just going to do the delay on the track itself. We're going to go to Delay Designer. And we're just going to bring in a, let's close that for now. Let's go bring in, I don't know, a simple filtered. And let's see here. Let's see how this sounds. So a subtle delay right there kind of brings it out a little bit more. And let's go ahead and add some reverb as well to make it even sound larger than life. So we're going to reverb Space Designer. And let's go ahead and let's see what we're going to bring in here. Now every time I do use a different reverb on these synths depending on the synths I'm actually using for the rest of the track. For this, let's just go ahead and bring in a medium space. Indoor space, let's just go to, let's see here. Let's see what this one sounds like. So that right there is how you create those big sounding house EDM style synths and kind of chord hitting stabs. If you have any questions on this, you can ask me in the comment section below. I will actually save this as a preset for you guys. You could download that in the more info section below the video as well. Just so you can load it up. You don't have to do all the changes that I did and get straight to manipulating it to create the sound that you're looking for or the sound that's actually in your head. Again, when you're creating your synths, start with 2 oscillators, kind of play with the different ones that you have right here. Again, analog is to bring in that kind of that analog feel that you would get on an actual analog machine. Bring in the fatness to bring in some mids, add some distortion, add some drive, and play around some of the effects right here, flanger and chorus. Usually chorus you put on some of those synths. And that's about it. And then you can go ahead and play with the envelopes right here to create different sounds and the way the sound hits every time it gets played. Those are just a couple pointers for you guys out to go ahead and use. And again, unison does make a huge difference when you turn that on. Again, any questions, ask me in the comment section below. Look out for the preset. It's in the more info section below if you want to download that. And as usual, guys, more great videos always coming soon. So remember to subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.